If your restaurant has good food, good drinks, and provides a great experience consistently, then I could teach you a strategy to double your 5-star reviews and fast. Most people won't even consider a restaurant under 4 stars. To go from 4 stars to 4.5 stars can mean a 20% more reservation increase annually. To go from 4.5 stars to 5 stars can mean an instant 10% increase in sales. I can go on and on, but the bottom line is it's fiscally beneficial in many, many ways to get your reviews up. Whether you love it or hate it, Yelp impacts your sales, period, as does all the other crowd-sourced review systems. So, in this video, I'll reveal a hidden factor impacting your reviews. I'll show you my powerful strategies to skyrocket customer satisfaction and turn amazing experiences into raving reviews, and teach you how to hack the guest experience to double those restaurant 5-star reviews. So, here are some of the systems I created to learn and profit off of online reviews. First, at the beginning of each week, we had an opening manager go through all the reviews from all the platforms and document them. Then put each review into 2 buckets, positive and negative. All positive feedback is documented, whether it's a shout out to someone in the front of the house or back of the house compliment on the food or speed of the food, etc. We mention all of these in every shift meeting. This not only provides a positive reinforcement to the staff, but it also sets a tone, letting everyone know that we are paying close attention to their efforts and taking their work seriously. Next, we compile all the negative reviews into a spreadsheet and condense them into a 1-sentence explanation. For example, if we receive a lengthy review about a slow and unfriendly server, we identify the server who was responsible and we write a concise note such as slow and unprofessional service, Preston. We then speak with the server privately and inquire about the incident. More often than not, the server will deny the accusations. Importantly, it's not our role to determine the truth of the complaint, nor do we intend to do so. Instead, we take the server's side, adopting an innocent until proven guilty approach. However, the exercise shows them that we are actively monitoring reviews and taking them serious. Even if the server was indeed slow that night, but was unwilling to admit it, the awareness that the performance is being monitored may encourage them to strive for excellence and to avoid negative feedback in the future. Without addressing these issues, there would be little incentive for them to improve. We also did the same with the kitchen. At the end of each month, the owner or the GM should read through these and look carefully for multiple offenders. Maybe at the end of the month, you realize there were over 10 complaints about the music being too loud. So maybe that is an issue. Maybe a certain dish has multiple complaints, or a certain bartender is rude. There is a chance to use analytics to listen to customers. A one-off can easily be ignored, but after a certain number, you have to listen. The next step is to make sure the manager who goes through all the reviews at the beginning of the week is responding to all of them. If you don't respond to bad reviews, then it seems like you're hiding something. And if you respond to good reviews, you can build relationships and show personality, which people like to see. Try and make positive responses personable and meaningful. I hate when I see generic responses that ultimately mean nothing, like, thanks for the positive review. We always strive to give our customers the best experience, and we're looking forward to seeing you again in the future. Thank you, robots. Who cares? Instead, make it personable. Hey Rick, we really appreciate you taking the time to write this review. We put a lot of effort into giving the best experience, and reviews like these make it all worth it. The sea bass is one of my favorite dishes, and I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I do. I'll be showing your server, Preston, and the rest of the staff this review. They will be elated. Please, ask for me next time you come in. I would love to buy you a glass of wine. Do you see how much more of a connection that has? Now take the opposite approach when you reply to negative reviews. Keep it generic and professional and offer to rectify the situation. Something like this. This is very disappointing to hear since this is not representative of the experience we work so hard to provide. Can you please email me at manager@restaurant.com with all the details so I can rectify the situation quickly. Thank you. So I recommend tracking and data pulling all reviews, replying to all reviews. Now let's talk about how to get more 5-star reviews and fast. And let's be honest, 4 stars feels meh. Customers like you, but they're not taking you to that next level of 5 stars. Here's the problem. Diners are more likely to choose a restaurant with 5-star reviews compared to a 4-star, especially if they're choosing between only 2 restaurants. Hey honey, want to go to restaurant A or B? They look it up, and one restaurant has 4 stars, one has 5. Not rocket science. They're going to pick the restaurant with the higher rating. 5-star reviews are rare, and when you see them, they almost sell themselves. Think about it this way. A 4-star rating might signal good enough or average, and you know your restaurant deserves better. So how do we get more 5-star reviews? Here's my secret weapon. Just ask. Now, I know what you're thinking because I get this with every restaurant I work with. They say, isn't that tacky? And the answer is no, not if it's done right. In fact, I've had many high-end concepts that have used this strategy and have seen great great success and they can see it right in their P&Ls. And it's all about the execution. First, consider this. Human nature is happy customers often forget to leave reviews, while unhappy ones are more likely to vent online. Now, I'm going to show you how to properly ask for a review. First things first though, this only works if you truly have good food and good drinks and provide a great experience consistently. Consistency is key here. It's everything. If you don't have systems to ensure consistency in place, then everything else falls apart. And if you need help with implementing consistency through systems, then download my free Consistency to Excellence guide. I'll provide the link to the PDF down below. So if you have good food and you have good drinks and a good experience and consistent, you're ready for the strategy. Because if you provide someone with an amazing experience that leaves them reeling, then why wouldn't they be more than happy to leave a good review? But you have to make sure they're primed to oblige. And I use this 3-step process. First, you have to provide consistency. If you are doing that, then you've already covered step 1. Step 2, provide a great experience. Good food, good drinks, great personable hospitality. Again, the experience needs to be built through systems to ensure consistency. You want to make sure the guest feels like you care about them and not their money. The best way to make an experience personable is to make sure the guest feels heard. Anything they request, you deliver it with purpose. For example, a lot of people don't like to complain. So if they complain, they usually preface it with something like, I don't mean to complain. I don't usually complain. This is an opportunity to let them be heard. So instead of saying, oh yeah, no worries, you're good, I'll get this fixed right away, say, I'm glad you said something. That is not up to our standards. And I know I personally like my food to be piping hot. So let me get this taken care of for you right away. I'll make it as quick as possible. And is there anything else I can get for you at the moment? Do you think the guest felt heard there, taken care of? The response isn't a robotic, yes, right away, sir, but a response that shows you are listening and you really care. You're on their side. You're going to fix it. You're making the guest feel comfortable. That's hospitality. Step 3, get at least 1 win at each table. You should aim for at least 3 to 5 wins at each table, but a minimum of 1. You don't want to wait for a win to come around. Server and bartenders should be actively seeking opportunities for wins. Let me give you an example. Recently, I went to Calo, which is an upscale Mexican restaurant in Costa Mesa. I ordered the carnitas and they came with this amazing salsa. I asked the server for more salsa while I raved about how much I loved it. But with the chips and salsa and appetizer, I can only eat half of my carnitas. So I asked the server for a to-go box for the rest of my food. Here's where the magic came in. When she brought me the box, she brought me a big cup of to-go salsa. She also brought me a side of chips and she said, I know you love this salsa, so I brought you some to take home and enjoy. That was a win. Do you think I left happy? Yes. Do you think I would happily have left a review if she asked? Absolutely. Do you think I told all of my friends about how awesome the experience was and recommend it to them? Absolutely. She actively looked for an opportunity to get a win and she proactively pounced the moment it came about. So how do you get wins? Wins should be talked about actively, encouraged throughout the shift, constantly, nonstop. It should be competitive between team members. Employees should be sharing tips on what works, strategies on what helps with each other. This will cultivate an environment that will encourage amazing hospitality with little management. So you have the 3-step system. Step 1, consistency. Step 2, the best experience. Step 3, wins. When you take a table through all 3 steps, the table will be primed for a review request. They will be more than happy. They'll want to do you a favor since they just had such an amazing experience. So here's where you land the plane. Remember, you want to land the plane as smoothly as possible. Don't just throw it out there. If you enjoyed your experience, we'd really appreciate sharing it on Yelp. Remember, you want to do things with intent and be personable. Make it sound like you're talking directly to them, not reciting a script that's in your head. Have a personable script prepared to ensure consistency. Each server or bartender will make it their own, but lay out some talking points to hit. For example, I appreciate you letting us host you tonight. I hope I went above and beyond enough to ensure your experience was nothing short of exceptional. Of course, if they had a good experience, they'll agree. They'll probably give you some kind words. And then you can close with this. Wow, thank you so much. That means a lot. And if you're willing, sharing your thoughts on Yelp would be greatly appreciated. We really want our online presence to truly reflect the quality of the experience you'll get here with us at the restaurant. Then you have the server gently place a QR code square, just a little sexy, elegant square with no borders on a hard piece of paper, and you just set it on the table. They walk off to process a payment. Half the time, the guest will leave a review while they're waiting for the payment to be processed. Now, A couple of things to note. One, servers and bartenders should always read their tables and use their discretion. If the table seems stuffy, or maybe they don't want to be bothered, then of course, don't ask. Two, if things went wrong at the table, obviously don't ask. The goal here isn't to ask every table, but the right tables. With that being said, at least 50% of the tables should be asked, no problem. Otherwise, there's another problem going on. So with this implemented correctly and consistently, I've seen an average of restaurants doubling their 5-star reviews within 30 days. And with that, they see their sales increase. Now, if you own a restaurant, comment what type of restaurant you have and what you do to get Yelp reviews, or if you even care about Yelp reviews. If you don't, tell me why not. Again, I'm Preston Lee. I want to help turn your restaurant into a money printing machine. And all it takes is knowledge and action. So, as always, take action.